बंदा कहते के इतबार करे, सारे बेइतबार हो गए नी। नफरत ते झूठ बुराइयां दे थे लोग शिकार हो गए नी। हुण कख हल दे ता डर लग दे।
First light coming through the blinds.
ये तो कैसे करूँगा मैं? ये ना से बड़ा है ना, चलो वो किसी को करना माइनस 20 का क्या भी मैंने सेव करना है। ये रहा हमारे इसमें माइनस सही है। 5 माइनस 20 तेरा आज ये रिला हो गया। अब इन गानों दोनों चाहिए जाएंगे मसला। 5 से 15 दरमियान है कोई 5 3 है। बी मैंने जो मेरे सामने वाले हैं यार, ये सवाल जीपीटी में डाल दूंगा। फिर क्या आगे क्यों करना मेरा एक दूसरे के यार नहीं है। नहीं आशा तेरे रात में है। देखा मैंने तो पूरी पूरी आखिरी टाइम का तेल नहीं दिखा था। मैंने ऐसे ही टिक करके सवाल कर दले। ये टिक करके सवाल कर ले। ऐसे होते हैं मेरी रियलिटी पॉसिबल है स्टोर एस्पेक्ट 3 ये है पॉसिबल रेंज एंड वैल्यू 17 तो टू बना 24 प्लस 3 अरे कैलकुलेटर किधर गया यार क्यों बे पैर जो सही ना मैं कहाँ से पता लगाऊं उसकी माँ को डाल दूं ये यार सारी प्रैक्टिस करेगा कोई इधर यार अब नहीं तो समझ अब ये कोई खाना ही है fifteen will be 2025. क्या चीज है ना मामे 4 - 3 bx मान लगा दे 4 - 3 मुझे भी खाना सब बाबू यहाँ तो सब यही वाले नहीं। ये ना नहीं जाना नहीं कितने से अरे 60 बनता है यार क्या है रे इसकी बत्ती है वहां में 32 है तेरा भी 24 मान गा रहा है ना आज जो सारा सवाल खुद ही गलत गा रहा है। हाँ इसको क्या हो गया है जो Gone. Mm, mm. If I feel small than 2 minutes, 50 2 से जाना है सारी गाड़ी बट so greater than 66 any value greater than yeah, and there's a brand available floor polish from supply will deliver no more than what's yeah so 50 pounds जितने नहीं बन रहे हैं window is 565 and need floor polish need 684 these service wants to buy these 3 times as many containers service wants to buy 3 times as many containers of floor polish as window cleaner नहीं 3 times floor polish. At least बाबा at least तो वही होता है ना big dish से बड़ा one. Oh bad. And 15 x minus 8 minus 17 minus minus 87 27 whatever what is the possible 8 by 3 5x by 8 1 so my the multiple with 3 are there 3 and 9 8 by 3 minus 5 and 9 and your value greater than minus 9 or smaller than minus 3 greater than minus 9 हमको बहन थोड़ा ज्ञान में बड़ा पड़ता है माता भी सब जा रहे हैं नफरत ते कूड़ बुराइयां दे Tina works no more than 30 hours at a nail salon which she can do a manicure in 20 minutes. 20 minutes and that is 30 minutes. Please manage your Karen management monitors ability set of forecast percent then now feels at least 25 at least and next next anti-short anti-short as क्या हो man, as many ounces of green tea leaves rather than many green leaves नहीं ये पढ़ा करना बिल्लू बिल्लू है तू यार God has a favorite and rated of a TV station selling 30 South Indian shows for where is it? अच्छा है यार क्या सीन है रा अच्छा आज जो मैं तो जो गुल फाड़ गई ऐसा जी बाबा दिन रात वाला भी है मुझे vocabulary वहाँ भी पढ़ता है गांडू है ना पहले ना इसको मैनेज कर हाँ यार इसके को पढ़ा करना अच्छा यार। मैं दो सवाल जल्दी कर लेने ला ना तो then as 140 paper bag and hard copy hard copy do not exceed अस्सलाम वालेकुम अब्बू। अच्छे माशाल्लाह अच्छे नाम है मुबारक हो माशाल्लाह अच्छे नाम है मुबारक हो जी। मुबारक हो सर जी ठीक है आप। और तो अभी मैं इसका सर्जिकल ऑपरेशन करूंगा खुद ही देख के अभी नंबर तो ठीक लिए मेरे से ज्यादा महा इसका सर्जिकल ऑपरेशन करना पड़ेगा सब्जेक्ट वाइज कितने हैं बट ठीक नंबर ले लिए मेरे से तो ज्यादा आ गए ना। चल ठीक है ना मुबारक हो। आगे भी आगे अभी आगे और मिलेगा आज। चल ठीक है। See the 160 number of paper bag copy मेरा बहन जो 160 क्या चीज होती है 16 बी नंबर ऑफ पेपर bag exceed यार हाँ। तेरा मार्क्स बस 16 क्या जी ले रहा ऐसे कोई इलाज नहीं ऐसा खुदा का सब मेरे मजाक नहीं कर रहा कोई चदे गला पे गांडो वाले मेरा बाबा तो पढ़ता नहीं है बहुत सी है तो पढ़ना बहुत जरूरी है 7/6 लुलु the number of students in geometry class is fourth fifth The number of students is 25. For example, the student is 25 x 4/5 dx. The total number do not exceed 54. What is the greatest possible number? 54 years. Yeah, no, I'm not saying I was doing it. I was, तेरी माँ ना. The formula gives the monthly cost same dollars of printing a printer. And over X or in the very long more. तेरी बहन को the formula of the weekly cost है जूते वगैरह मेरी I have the formula of the weekly cost same dollars of operating a lemon press net. Also, at least at least mm, at least का बड़ा 05 per lemon. जिन्ना ने two types of then who as he said at least she did not know that at least that boy yeah and actually he okay she did not know that boy that goal. Or the total value was sold was over yeah और बाबे ना हो रहा है जैसे जाती है ना जितने भी घंटे हैं कैसे ना नहीं मेरा अरे इसका मीडियम मार के मेरे मदद से आया क्या कहते हैं मीडियम हार्ड कोई नहीं है चल 3 hours मेरे 16 goals to walk an area of 50 kilometers for 4 weeks और यार ये कुत्ता सवाल आ गया 50 kilometers for 4 weeks you are first to a week for 4 weeks too sweet shape Stone for 500 bees we want to make these four blessings and at least 5 एक पैसे requires 20 beads and necklace requires 40 beads नहीं ये क्या फारसी है ना African rhinoceros, 800 pounds at birth and grow. नो दसमो खोलना पड़ेगा। दसमो आ गया मेरे भाई। तेरा मैं जाके बर्फ ले आ, वो आएंगे। मैं लुल्लू बोली आएंगे, 6 घंटे रह जाऊंगी मेरे। Mm, 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 if you find पहुंच दिया 0-0 है 0 annual paper cost and instead of अस्सलाम वालेकुम। जी, वालेकुम सलाम। जी अब्बू। ठीक हो गया। ठीक हो गया। हाँ, पिछली बार अरशद साथ आ रहा है। बस हम तीनों कर लेंगे। ठीक कर लेंगे। ठीक है। ठीक 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 हो गया। 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 ठीक ठीक हो गया। ठीक हो ठीक हो। Coral has 120 flowers on beaches. engineering philosophy, getting Mm. Just about there's a 50 point confidence, 50 point confidence. At least, at least, but at least I'm over there. Kuta.
Now that we have looked at some of the basic questions involving inequalities, let's dive deeper into the applications of these inequalities. It's at this point that we solve inequalities and then apply them onto real world scenarios as well. Many real life situations require us to solve inequalities. In fact, inequality applications are so common that we often do not even realize what we are doing is algebra. For example, how many gallons of gas can be put in the car for $20 or so? Let me write it down. This can be an inequality. Or is the rent on an apartment affordable? This can be an inequality. Is there enough time before class to go get lunch, eat it, and then return? This can be an inequality. This is something that I can relate with as well. During my classes at Penn, we used to think a lot on these things because we didn't have like lengthy breaks or so. So how much money should each family member's holiday gift cost without going over budget? This can be an inequality as well. The method we will use to solve applications with linear inequalities is very much like the one we use when we solve applications with equations. Nothing is different at all. The only difference is that this sign won't be there. Rather than this sign, we will have greater than or greater than equal to sign or less than equal to sign. This is the only difference. And these are some of the rules that I follow whenever I am solving inequalities or solving equations. You read the problem and underline important information. That is something very important. And you must have seen that I do this a lot. Then you identify the target answer, what you have to find it. Then you assign a variable to the target answer or any other quantity that is there in the question. Then recite the problem in your own words and then translate it into an inequality. This is very powerful. This is very strong. When you recite it in your own words, that is when you understand the problem. And finally, you solve the inequality. Let's apply these rules on some past paper questions. Let's begin. Voyard can husk at least 12,000 years of corn per hour and at most 18,000 years of corn per hour. Based on this information, what is a possible amount of time in hours that it would take Voyard to husk 72,000 years of corn? Please pause the video and read the question again if you want. Now the hint in these kind of question is this at least and at most. Whenever you have these words, it's a clear-cut hint that we're looking at an inequality. Now he can husk anywhere between 12 and 18. We're not given an exact figure. Now that is the confusion. So we can take any number between 12 and 18 inclusive. So what should we do now? We will apply proportion and solve with both these terms. So we have hours on one hand and let's say we have husk on the other. So in 1 hour, let's say he can husk 12,000 years. So how much time will it take to husk 72,000? That's x. Simply cross multiply and you will get 12x equals 72. X equals 72 divided by 6. 72 divided by 12 is 6. 6 hours to husk 72,000 years of corn. Now we need to repeat the process with this figure. Same scenario, hours on one hand, husk on the other. So let's say in 1 hour, he can husk 18,000 years of corn and he has to husk 72,000. So this will become x. Same scenario. Cross multiply, 18x equals 72. X equals 72 divided by 18 is 4. It will take him 4 hours to husk 72,000 years of corn. Now we have our answer. Our answer can be anywhere between 4 and 6 inclusive. This is the amount of time that he will take. Many students called me after this exam and they were like, sir, we didn't know the exact answer. There is no exact answer. It can be 4, it can be 5, it can be 6. It's a grading question, so any number between 4 and 6 inclusive can be graded as the correct answer. Let's have a look at this question. A worker uses a forklift to move boxes that weigh either 40 pounds or 65 pounds each. Let X be the number of 40-pound boxes. A worker uses a forklift to move boxes that weigh either 40 pounds or 65 pounds each. Let X be the number of 40-pound boxes, okay, and Y be the number of 65-pound boxes. The forklift can carry up to either 45 boxes or up to, this is important, either 45 boxes or a weight of 2,400 pounds. Which of the following systems of inequalities represents this relationship? It's a very typical question. I've talked about this in simultaneous equations as well. It's so typical that I've seen this so many times. One equation is usually of the total number, and the other is of cost or weight in this pound. So, how many total boxes are there? How many total boxes are there? He can carry up to either 45 boxes or weigh 2,400 pounds. So let's say X is the number of 40-pound boxes, plus Y is the number of 65-pound boxes, and this should be less than or equal to, up to, less than or equal to 45. This is our first equation. If this is your first equation, you can easily eliminate option choice C and D because you don't see this equation anywhere. We're left with option choice A and B. The second will be of the total weight, total boxes. The second equation will be of, let's say this is the first equation, the second will be of total weight. What's the total weight that he can carry? Up to 45 boxes or a weight of 2,400 pounds. So it should be less than equal to 2,400. This is the weight. So on the left hand side, we should also have weights. So we have X as the number of 40-pound boxes. So 40 into X. What is this? What is 40X? 40X is the total weight in pounds of the 40-pound boxes. And Y is the number of 65-pound boxes plus 65Y. What is 65Y? It is the total weight in pounds of the 65-pound boxes. You see, we have weight, we have weight, we have weight. Our equation is consistent. Is yes. Trash in a landfill that had a capacity of. Let's have a look at this interesting question. On January 1st, 2000, there were 175,000 tons of trash in a landfill that had a capacity of 3. 25,000 tons. Each year since then, the amount of trash in the landfill increased by 7,500 tons. Okay, if Y represents the time in years after January 1st, 2000, which of the following inequalities describes the set of years where the landfill is at or above capacity? This is important. At or above capacity. It's giving me a hint that the inequality should look something like this: at or above. Okay, let's start from the beginning. 1 step at a time. So what's the initial count? What's the initial amount of trash that is already there? That's 175,000. And each year we are adding 7,500 tons. Let's say what happens in the first year. So in the first year, we'll have 175,000 plus 7,500. What will happen in the second year? You will add, I keep writing years, you will add another 7,500 to this. So it will become 175,000 plus 7,500 for the first year and plus 7,500 for the second year. So you can represent this information like this. Let's say what happens in Y years. What happens in Y years? The equation will look something like this: 175,000 plus 7,500Y. Now we know that the landfill has a capacity of 325,000 tons. Therefore, the set of years where the amount of trash in the landfill is at or above, that is greater than the capacity, is described by the inequality 175,000 plus 7,500 is greater than equal to 325,000. This is our answer, which is option choice D. There you go. Let's have a look at another very interesting possible question. I remember many students called me after this exam and they were like, we got really confused on this question. A project manager estimates that a project will take X hours to complete, where X is greater than 100. The goal is for the estimate to be within 10 hours of the time it will actually take to complete the project. If the manager meets the goal and it takes Y hours to complete the project, which of the following inequalities represents the relationship between the estimated time and the actual completion time? Please pause the video and read the question again if you want. So basically, the difference between the number of hours the project takes, which is Y, and the number of hours the project was estimated to take, which is X, is this: Y minus X mod. If the goal is met, the difference is less than 10, which can be represented as Y minus X mod is less than 10. Now, how did I come up with this and why did I put a modulus function? This is where you need to apply the strategy plug in numbers. Let's say X is greater than 100. Let's just assume that X is 101. This is the basically estimated time that the project will take. But the project took, let's say, 107 hours. Or you can say 95 hours. It can take any value. It can be above 101. It can be below 101 as well. That is why we have put the modulus function, because we are not concerned with the negative answer. I just need the difference between the number of hours. So let's say if I simply put 95 minus 101, I will get minus 6, which is wrong. I'm not concerned with minus. The time can't be negative. Hence, we put a modulus function and I will get 6 hours. See, so this difference needs to be less than 10. And if you solve this inequality, you should be able to, because we've already discussed this in absolute values, you will get Y minus X is greater than minus 10 and less than 10. This is our answer, which is option choice D. Let's also evaluate the other option choices. Why is option choice A incorrect? This inequality basically states that the estimated number of hours plus the actual number of hours, X plus Y, is less than 10, which cannot be true. This is wrong because the estimate is greater than 100. Look at this. So this is incorrect. Why is option choice B incorrect? This inequality basically states that the actual number of hours, this is why the actual number of hours is greater than the estimated number of hours plus 10, which is wrong, which could be true only if the goal of being within 10 hours of the estimate were not met. Then this situation can be true. Similarly, option choice C is also incorrect. Why? Because this inequality states that the actual number of hours is less than the estimated number of hours minus 10, which could be true only if the goal of being within the 10 hours of the estimate were not met. I hope you understand the question. Okay. Question 16 and 17 refer to the following information. Mr. Mortensen is building a concrete patio in his backyard and deciding where to buy the materials and render tools needed for the project. The table below shows the materials cost and the daily rental cost for 3 different stores. Okay, store ABC, material cost is this, rental cost for wheelbarrow is this, and the rental cost for concrete is this, and these costs are for dollars per day. The total cost Y for buying the materials and renting the tools in terms of the number of days X is given by Y equals M plus W plus K X. First of all, you need to understand this information. It's pretty straightforward. Y equals can carry up to we have 75,000 our answer. Any value. This is incorrect. Hours of the cause for concrete is this, and these costs are for. Now that we have looked at some of the basic questions involving inequalities, let's dive deeper into the applications of these inequalities. It's at this point that we form inequality. Arrow is this, and the rental cost for concrete is this, and these costs are for dollars per day. The total cost y for buying the materials and renting the tools in terms of the number of days x is given by y equals m plus w plus k x. First of all, you need to understand this information. It's pretty straightforward. Y equals m plus w plus k into x. M is the materials cost, that you can see this is the materials cost, and w is the cost for wheelbarrow per day, and k is the cost for the mixer. And these are the days. So this is something that you need to understand immediately. For what number of days x will the total cost of buying the materials and renting the tools from store B less than or equal to the total cost of buying the materials and renting the tools from store A. Basically, what we're doing is this. The cost for buying the materials from store B should be less than or equal to the cost from buying from store A. Let's form our equations. For store A, what's our equation? Simply replace the values into this. Materials cost is 750 plus rental cost of wheelbarrow is 15 and the rental cost of the concrete mixer is 65 into the number of days. This is our cost for store A. For store B, it's going to be similar scenario, just replace the values. 600 for the materials cost plus $25 per day for the wheelbarrow and $80 per day for the concrete mixer into X. Now simply apply this. So 600 plus 25 plus 80 is 105x should be less than or equal to 750 plus 15 plus 65 is 80, 80x. This will give us our answer. Now do the math. This will become, just combine the like terms. 105 minus 105x minus 80x should be less than or equal to 750 minus 600. We are left with 25x is less than or equal to 150. X is less than or equal to 456. This is our answer, which is option choice A. Now let's look at question number 17. If the relationship between the total cost y of buying the materials and renting the tools at store C and the number of days x for which the tools are rented is graphed in the xy plane, what does the slope of the line represent? Now, if you're a little careful and intelligent and smart enough, you don't even need to draw the graph. We already have our equation, which is y equals m plus w plus k into x. This is mx plus c. This scenario is our mx and this is our c. So it's a straight line equation. So what does this represent? W plus k, this is our slope, this is our gradient, which is basically the total daily rental cost of the tools. The total daily rental cost. See, these are the rental costs per day. These are the rental costs per day. W plus k, which is option choice D. And we have another very interesting part of a question. You must be saying that sir says this for every question out there. Which is that I get very excited because I've literally spent years coming up with topic-wise questions for every topic on the SAT exam. Okay, let's begin. A psychologist set up an experiment study the tendency of a person to select the first item when presented with a series of items. In the experiment, 300 people were presented with a set of 5 pictures. 300 people, okay, arranged in random order. Each person was asked to choose the most appealing picture. Of the first 150 participants, 36 chose the first picture in the set, okay. Among the remaining 150 participants, P people chose the first picture. So there are 2 batches, 150 each. If more than 20% of all the participants chose the first picture in the set, which of the following inequalities best describes the possible values of P? What I've seen is these questions aren't that difficult. Students just get confused. They get scared. That's the thing that you need to control. If you just underline the important information, trust me, it will get very easy. So let's say in the first set, we have 150 people. And how many chose the first picture? That's like 36. So the proportion becomes 36 over 150. Similarly, what happens in the second set? In the second set, we have 150 people again. And how many chose the first picture? That's like P. So P over 150. So of the total 300 participants, how many chose the first picture? You add these up and you will get 36 plus P over 300. Now, what is this basically? This is basically the proportion of the participants who chose the first picture in the set. And the question states that this is more than 20% of all the participants. Simply translate this. Remember the strategy? More than 20%, which is 0.2. There you go. You have your inequality. Simply do the math now, and this will become 36 plus P is greater than 0.2 into 300. You've come this far. Now let's look at the second scenario. Now this inequality can be written like this. Since P is the number of people among the remaining 150. What is P? The remaining 150 people. So P has to be less than equal to 150. These are your inequalities. Now let's have a look at the answer choices. 36 plus P, where is it? You can easily eliminate option choice A and B. These look very weird. P minus 36, no, we have P plus 36. So from here you can get your answer. Even if you didn't understand this, if you've come this far, you know D is your correct answer. Very simple. Next question. Jamie is preparing for a bicycle race. His goal is to bicycle an average of at least 280 miles per week. What does this translate to at least? So you can say he has to average at least 280 miles, which is greater than or equal to. This is the minimum that he has to do per week for 4 weeks. He bicycled 240 miles the first week, 310 miles the second week, and 320 miles the third week. Which inequality can be used to represent the number of miles X Jamie could bicycle on the 4th week to meet his goal? Interesting question. Okay, so Jamie's goal is to average at least 280 miles per week for 4 weeks. If T, let's say, if T is the total number of miles Jamie will bicycle for 4 weeks, then his goal can be represented as T over 4 should be greater than or equal to 280. And T becomes 4 into 280. Even if you stop here, you will see that there is only one option which matches with our option. That's option choice D. But we need to calculate and understand what exactly is T. So the total number of miles Jamie will bicycle during this time is the sum of the distances that he has completed in. We have our answer. 240 plus 310 plus 320 plus X should be greater. Okay, let's have a look at some of the rules of graphing inequalities before we move on to the questions. And my focus is on the 2 variable inequality because a single variable inequality is very simple. I'm sure all of you can handle that. So you draw an inequality just like you draw a linear equation. Trust me, nothing is different. There are only 2 things that you need to understand, and that's it. Let's have a look at the steps. Step 1 is you graph the boundary line. Either the line will be solid like this or it will be dotted like this. Use a solid line for less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. Whenever you have an equal to sign, then you will have a solid line. It means that the points on the line are included. A solid line shows that the points on the line are the solutions, whereas a dashed line or a dotted line is for less than or greater than. A dashed line shows the points on the line are not part of the solutions. That's the first thing you need to remember. The second is about the shading. Shade one side of the line to show the solution area. Now, how do we know that which area to shade? This is one question that a lot of students ask me. So you shade above the line for greater than or greater than equal to. So you will shade above the line if your solution, if the question is like this, y is greater than or y is greater than equal to, whatever the equation over here. So you will get a solution like this. And you shade below the line for less than or equal to. So if you have an equation which is like y is less than something or y is less than equal to something, then you will have a solution like this. Now that you know some of the basic rules, let's apply these on a couple of possible questions. Okay, let's draw this line. Y is less than 2x plus 1. You need to treat it just like you would treat y equals 2x plus 1. The graph doesn't change. The only thing you need to remember is we have a less than sign, so we have a dotted line. And remember the rules that I taught you in linear equations? Just apply those here as well. So we have f of x, this is our function, and this is plus z. So what is happening? Whenever you have a plus z, it means the graph is going z units upwards. That's all you need to understand. So the graph of this equation should look something like this. I have a dotted line. I hope I'm able to draw a good decent line. Oh, no. So we have, here you go. No, sorry. Okay, yeah, this is better. So this looks like our graph. This is y is less than 2x plus 1. But we haven't shaded our region. So whenever you have a less than sign, our basically region is below this line. This entire region is our region. If you get confused, just take any point from this region and you will see that the point will satisfy this inequality. Let's say if you're confused, just take 0, 0. Take at this 0, the point origin is basically below this line. It should be able to satisfy this inequality. So if I put 0 and 0 in this inequality, what do I get? I will get 0 is less than 2 into 0 plus 1. 0 is less than 1. You see, it's completely fine. You take any point above this line, this one, and that point will not satisfy our inequality. Okay guys, let's draw this inequality. Y is greater than or equal to minus 3x plus 2. Now we have an inequality sign. So that means equal to sign. That means the line will be solid and it won't be a dotted line. First thing you need to understand is this. The rest of the things remain the same. So this is our function, which is f of x and plus z. Again, we are adding a constant. It means that the line will move z units upwards. Everything else remains the same. It's minus 3x. It means the slope is negative. The line will be inverted. And minus 3 is also telling us that the slope of the line is steeper. The line should look something like this, passing through y equals 2. Something like this. Yes, this is our line.